Good morning, traders. This is Mark Owen speaking from Phoenix Blue. It's the morning update on Thursday, the 29th of June. I hope everyone is having a great week. Being honest, this is not one of my better trading weeks, but this is part of trading and we have to accept it. We saw another continued sell-off in the US dollar yesterday. We also saw a couple of interesting swings based around the euro and sterling. And the reason for this was a couple of comments coming from Mark Carney and Mario Draghi. Effectively, the comments on Tuesday from Mario Draghi were believed to have been misjudged by the market, causing a sell-off in the euro yesterday. Of about 70 points, there or thereabouts, and then only to see it rally back and continue to the upside and finishing in the early hours of this morning around 1.14, coming up to that key level. So the things we were talking about were if it remains above 1.13, there was a couple of intermediary levels we could look at whether it was going to stick or hold. It's broken through those quite clearly, so now the major level we'll be looking at is at 1.1450. And then Mark Carney, obviously, he mentioned on Tuesday, I believe Tuesday, he was talking about that there was going to be no need for tightening as of yet. And then yesterday at the European Central Bank forum, he mentioned that the removal of monetary stimulus may be required. So what this did was it was a complete contradiction of his previous remarks, and we saw sterling rally from high 126s to 129.70s, and this is a pretty pivotal level in and around that 1.3. So we'll be looking at those charts in a minute. Now, news from the day is we've got the final GDP quarter on quarter for the US forecasting at 1.2. For the dollar's sake, I hope it does come in somewhere in and around those numbers. Anything below that, and we'll see this continued sell-off. The next thing we've got is the unemployment claims. We forecast last week at 241,000. It was on target. This week we're forecast at 241,000 yet again. So we'll be looking for a number to come in at 241 or less for a positive outcome on the US dollar. Okay, time to look at the charts and see what's actually happening. So the dollar index, you can see it's really testing the lower barrier of this channel, and it's pushing hard. And that is the only thing sort of stopping it into around 94.60, which is another good one whole point down on the dollar index, which is a significant rally when we look at that on the euro. So we've got to see what happens here. We got a break out of the zone we were talking about, not the preferred way, in all honesty, because it doesn't leave us much room. But let's have a look at the other charts to see what we can potentially take advantage of. Okay, so the euro, what we've done is we've gone up to the monthly time frame here, just to get a bit of a clearer picture, get rid of some of the noise. And if you look at that 114.60 area, the black horizontal, the upper one I've put in here, comes right through all the tips of the wicks, the final closing price over here, opening price. So we've got a few points to go yet, maybe about 30, 40 points to get up there. I'm not actually going to trade this with a limit order. The rationale for not trading with a limit order is that, okay, you could argue it would work on a few of these, but these spikes up here, these went up for over 116, 117, so you're talking huge stops. So what we'll be looking for is some kind of rejection in and around these levels. If you're an intraday trader, well, if we do get some small time pullbacks, look to trade it long into those zones, but I'd be definitely taking my money out of the market prior to getting to those zones, because if we are going to get a reaction, it's definitely going to be at those zones. Now on the back of this, because the market's been rallying so aggressively. Um, this week we will see an increase in short contracts from the commercial traders, but the following week, because the, the data is collected on the Tuesday, so we're going to have missed the rally on Wednesday, Thursday, and potentially Friday. If this is going to be the case, I would expect that the data to be even stronger for the following week. So next Tuesday, that data is going to be released the following Friday. So if we are going to see a reversal, a top in here, this is going to be the zone. I was looking initially through here. We took a couple of hits. We got our signals, we traded them. So let's see what happens now. But we'll be sat on the sidelines ready to take advantage of this. Intraday trades will be long. Okay, so Kiwi, we keep getting tested. We keep getting tested. The return, there's no return to the upside. We're really at structure. In terms of getting long for myself, I'm not a breakout trader, so I won't be taking any long trades until I see a clear break of these highs over here. Once we get a clear break and it's proven not to be a false break, then we'll be looking to get long because there'll be some serious upside to that. But like the euro, we're at a major level, potential sort of minimum 340 point reward on offer here. You can see I've got a short entry in here, taking it down into where the momentum started. And then if we are going to see a continued sell-off in dollar, then I would envisage that this market is going to come down, test this zone somewhere down here before resuming to the upside and potentially breaking out. That is if the dollar is going to continue to weaken. Dollar CAD, again, another one that's at a major support level. So correlation here is you see all the dollar pairs coming into huge support levels. So we're looking at this to trade long and then to potentially trade short. So we're looking at short-term dollar strength for a correction and then to dollar weakness. So this will be a stop and reverse in and around the 132. But we'll be watching to see what price action does here at this key level. And we'll look to correlate this with oil. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, S&P yesterday, we were looking at potential shorting opportunity, but in order to short, we wanted to see that the market had a close below this blue line here, and literally the market came down, tested the blue line, and we had a huge risk on day yesterday. There was a huge shift in sentiment. Equities were very, very bullish after Fed Chair Lady Janet Yellen's speech, talking about how rich prices were of asset, i.e. talking about equities and potential overinflation of prices, therefore looking at tightening monetary policy, trying to scare off a little bit of the rally in equities. It worked for a day, but the buyers came in strong yesterday. So we had a risk on day yesterday, and interestingly, with a risk on day yesterday, we actually saw a rally in gold. So the correlation is a little bit out of sync. So we saw a rally in gold, we saw a sell-off in yen, and we saw a rally in equities. So the equities and yen were pretty much in line. So gold was out of sync. So the question is, which one's right? So the thing is here, what we do is we trade our plan and plan our trade. So planning our trade is simple. We're waiting for price to drop, and then we'll be looking to get long gold. So if that is the case, then potentially we're going to see more of a rally in equities for the price of gold to drop. So that's our plan, and we'll see what happens. Oil, on the flip side, yes, we do see a weekly chart, and we very clear downtrend. The black horizontal in at 43.20, we can see how the market sticks to this level. Through here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rejections, and then the seventh, we're starting a bullish momentum. So we'll be looking for this market to rally either into these lows here or potentially the top of the channel. So on the back of this, there's some decent reward there. This was a trade we highlighted in the Investor Insight pack, looking to get long from 43.20. You currently sat at $45, so this was a nice trade sat in there. Okay, we're coming close to the end of the week, and I'd like to know how everyone's week's been. Um, how are you finding the morning updates? Are you enjoying the morning updates? Is there any kind of information you would like us to add? We'd like a little bit more interaction from you. We get a lot of people watching our videos, but we don't get that much interaction. So please fire us questions, any remarks, emails, share the videos, like the videos. We want to see some kind of interaction. It's nice to have dialogue with our traders. Okay, so that's it from the morning update today, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye bye.